I was a Division I soccer strength coach for 6 years, but I was also a Division III soccer player. And the biggest misconception is that these athletes train hard all week long. There's 2 games a week. We have to break that up considerably to make sure we're improving, to make sure we're ready for game day. I'll show you how today. Now, with how the schedule typically looks, especially in college, you have 2 games a week, typically about 48 hours apart. That does not give you a lot of time to train, so I'll show you exactly how we did it when I was at West Virginia University. Here's the whole week. Notice what's missing. No separate conditioning day, no separate strength day. With 2 games a week, you compress everything down into 4 jobs. Recover, activate, build, compete. On game day, the strength coach's job is actually pretty simple. You're getting the team warmed up, make sure you're getting everything activated for injury prevention, and then sometimes you're training some of the players that redshirt or are injured. Now in our situation, Thursday's game day, Friday's what most people would consider a rest day, but in this situation, it's not. It's actually one of the most important days of the week. Again, your role on the team determines your training that day. If you had low match exposure, you build, you train, you put in a hard effort. If you had heavy match load, you recover. Same day, 2 completely different jobs, and a lot of times at the collegiate level, your technology, your GPS is going to deliver where you sit. For developing players, this is a chance to get in a real lift. You're going to hit the gym, not super heavy loads, but you are going to attack those legs to get a similar stimulus to what happened on game day. But if you were a starter, it's a very easy day. You're going to hit a little bit of upper body to get some blood flow to stimulate some recovery, and then you're going to focus on stretching and mobilizing. And then just like that, we are back to Saturday, which is another game day -1s, which means it's an activation day and a readiness day. This is a heavy day for these sport coaches. Set piece review, game plan walkthrough. You're going to do some tape. No big physical training beyond the activation. Strength coach perspective, we're looking at a few short sprints to activate, full recovery between reps. We're just trying to prime that nervous system again for the next game day. And then back to Sunday, another game day. Your job is the same as Thursday. Show up, compete, put in that effort. Now in the college sector, Monday's an interesting day. It is a day that is a mandatory off day due to NCAA rules. And with that, we are looking at voluntary options for developing players or players that get high minutes. Obviously, it's going to be individualized based on what that person needs, but it is a voluntary day. Most athletes are off, focusing on school. But that all sets us up for Tuesday, which is going to be basically our biggest day of the week from a strength coach perspective. This is our big lift day. This is where we're really going to try to set up the stimulus to prepare the body for the next week's games. We're looking at squats, remaining deadlifts, split squats, payloft presses. It's your heaviest loading of the week, and it happens here. Still relatively light compared to what we would do in the off season, but a heavy stimulus for in season. Now, in most instances, you're going to lift after practice. So at practice, after the warm-up, we're going to hit some activation. We're going to do some agility ladders, some change of direction work, some agility work to get that high neural stimulus before we ever get to lift. While you're at practice, coaches are going to have you set up with technical work, small-sided games, tactical principles, and then do some film review. Physically and tactically, Tuesday earns its reputation. And then really Wednesday matches Saturday. It's a game day -1. It is an activation. It is a prep day. It's a film day. Keep it pretty easy. Now, this is a real system. It's high level, but this is a real system of how we ran things at West Virginia University with their soccer program. Now, the sets, the reps, the details are not involved here. If you're curious, drop in the comments. I'm going to set up some different sports, do the same kind of concepts, so make sure you subscribe to stay tuned. Never settle with yesterday.